Good morning, Polynikes here with the next Infinity Battle Report. It's the Dayhel Merovingian mission set, Mission 2. Mission 2 is Security Perimeter, which is a lot like Frontline. And you can see here, let me get my pen. Alright, you can see here, a lot like Frontline, except that you only get points for securing the zone next to yours, here if I'm deploying in Zone B down here, and for controlling the center zone. And there's extra victory points for controlling the center zone with your data tracker, and there's extra for controlling the center zone and establishing a security perimeter in it, which means the enemy has no models in that zone at the end of the game. Pretty hard to do. We are of course playing the narrative mode, as you see here, narrative mode, which means that the combined army will be getting plus 1.5 SWC. As you'll see in my army list, I do use some of that. And my opponent, again, the Merovingians, will be getting to forward deployment level 1 for everybody. That seems pretty powerful to me. Let's check out our lists. So here's my list. You can see my SWC. I have 7 of a possible 7.5 thanks to the mission. And you can see what I've got here. I've got my Unadron link again. My thoughts on that was, if I end up going second and he's forward deployed to everybody, it could be really bad. And so I'm just basically going to hide behind the Unadron link. I'll put them in front, all of them to ARO, except maybe the link leader to keep the bonus for the whole turn, and just let him pound on them, let them all go dogged and die in the turn. And then, when it comes back to my turn, I'll have my full 10 primary combat group, and they'll move out. Hopefully Samaritan will eat some people, and we'll get some stuff done. Now, the Merovingians, here is theirs. Of course, I don't know all of this before we start, but this is their army list. It's going to give you a second to look at it. And then we'll move on to the board. Alright, so this is our board. It's an Arctic blizzard, is one of the special rules for this. So anybody in the center line with camouflage or hiding, whatever that is, or ODD gets +3 to their physical stat when dodging. Dodging or engaging or change facing, anything like that. Let me move the camera so you can see that corner of the board over there. And then back. And now we'll see the next side of the board. Again, this is the board from the other side. Remember, there is a passageway through this piece right here. You can see right and walk through there. It's pretty big. Like S5, you can easily walk through there. So I lose the lieutenant role, and my opponent chooses deployment. He puts me on this side of the board where we are now, and of course I'm deploying first. So I choose to go first. Despite this being a end of the mission scoring, where it's pretty powerful to go second, I don't think I can handle him forward deploying everybody and deploying after me and going first. So I am deploying first and going first. Here's my deployment. On my far left, we have the link of Unadrons. Plasma sniper up in front, right there. Missile launcher, Spitfire, and 2 carbines, with an Icadron right in the middle just to give them a little support, primarily from the hacker. All right, moving across the board, 1 Imatron down here. The other one missed the board, so I'm down 1 Imatron already. This is the Suryat, who will be prone. Right in front of him is the R-drone. The R-drone's original purpose in this list was to run out there and suck up a bunch of mines, possibly put out a sniffer, but maybe even not that. All right. Over here, we have the center of the board, the Nexus hacker, who's the lieutenant, the M-drone, possibly to use that sniffer if the R-drone ever puts it out, the Q-drone, which in this mission has a plasma rifle. I figured there'd be a lot of up-close fighting, and a plasma rifle would do well in this mission. My second Icadron, and the Umbra, holding it down on the far right flank. All right, on to my opponent's deployment. No, my deployment. This is my reserve, which comes after his deployment, obviously, but it's the Makrep tracker right here with a HMG. She's great because she's MSV2, 6th Sense level 1. If that ever comes up, you get to hold just like a chasseur. And I'm basically going to use her to hunt camo tokens throughout the game. At least that's my plan. All right, deployment for the Merovingians. On his far left, we have 2 mule bots. The one in the upper left here is just a minesweeper. And the other one here is the double action one, not the total reaction one, the double reaction one. Note that it says Rampage on the side of his thing here. This is pretty significant. I have a history with this mule bot of destroying me. Yeah. All right, we got the Dozer, and we got the Link of Moblos here. This is the Sapper HMG, and there's a total of 5 of them. So 2 have mimetism, 1 has, I think, a shotgun, and 1 doesn't have mimetism, which is the lieutenant. Though I don't really know that this time. Here's more look at the Moblows. Dr. Fire Axe over here, getting ready to do something. And lower right corner over here, we have Knauf. Knauf. He's down there. And my opponent's reserve is the Zouave Sapper Sniper up here. He's got a pretty good view of my link team over there. I'm going to have to deal with that before I do anything. And you can see along the center line there's a whole bunch of camo tokens. There's a total of 6 camo tokens on the board. Yeah, there's 2 more over here. Right, okay. So my data tracker is my Umbra, the Samaritan, and my opponent's data tracker is Knauf, who this seemed like a questionable call to me because he's right in line of the Plasma Sniper. Right? He's a sniper, I'm a sniper, but I'll be on the active turn. I'll be upgraded with the Marksman level 2. Yeah. And all right, I'm starting my turn because both Knauf and the Zouave Sapper Sniper can see my link team. I come out with the Makarep first. She walks over here and on the way spots a mine. Yeah, she's on the way, it's fine. All right, so her next move takes her into this firefight. You can see up here the Zouave, and looking all the way down here. It's a pretty long shot, it's like 30 inches away, but that's in my plus bracket as well as his. So we're both at 12s, and it takes me 2 orders, but I remove him there. And then the link team is free to move, and it does. Link team gets upgraded from the from the Nexus hacker, who's the lieutenant. So he's the lieutenant order for that. And his first volley destroys Knauf fairly easily. It's got shock and plasma and blast mode, no cover at all, right? Because Marksman plus blast mode. All right. So his second shot, the couple of drones are moving around a little bit, just kind of like stacking up on the wall here. And you can see barely down here, there is one of the Moblows. And you don't think you can see it in a picture, but there's another one just peeking out right there. So my plasma is going to splash the first one and then onto the second one like that. Like my sound effects? I do. All right. So my opponent decides to hold the whole 5-man link together and just fire back twice. And this works out pretty well for him, actually. My guy goes dogged. Gets hit by a combi rifle from downrange. The plasma splash does put down the Moblo that was in back, but the one that's firing at me is still up. So I spend another order and I do put him down. But now I'm dogged. So what do I do with that? He runs out to clear the mine. He runs right into it. He makes the save from the mine, but whatever, he's not at the end of the turn. And I think the link has 1 more order after this, and they just do a little repositioning, which we'll see in a moment. This is the Umbra just sneaking up on my right flank. He moves up next to the Icadron and then cautious moves across. He's happy right there. All right, in the center, the Suryat moves up, the Makarep moves up a little more. They both drop into suppressive fire. And then the Umbra follows suit into suppressive fire, waiting for the enemy turn to come. First thing the enemy does, the Zouave HMG Sapper fires straight down the board into my Plasma Total Reaction Bot. It's a terrible shot for me. I'm on like 5s. I think I upgraded it at the end of the turn by switching the upgrade from the hacker over, but still, my guy goes down to 1 shot there. Then this little camo token sneaks around the corner here, and it just able to draw a line of fire down here right to the back of my R drone. Now it's the case where he's in the front arc of my model, but only drawing line of fire to the back arc, which is weird, and a lot of people think it's kind of strange in the game. You can be in my front arc, but I still don't get to shoot you because you only see my back arc. It's weird. It's even weirder when you're on top of buildings and you can do that, but hopefully it doesn't come up that much. So he comes out like that. I have no arrows, and he forward observes me successfully, which allows, Mulebot Rampage suddenly in the game. First volley puts the R drone unconscious and injures the Suryat. This is terrible because he can keep doing it, and I'm just not doing much. I'm counter-hacking it with my hacker, so he's only hitting on like 13s, but the Suryat's dodging on a 10, the drone's dodging on a 5. Funnily, I rolled a 4 to dodge, and I was really excited that I crit dodge with the drone, and then remembered that our drones are Fizz 11, not Fizz 10, like every other drone in the army. So, the R drone doesn't dodge, goes unconscious, the Suryat takes a wound. He fires again, and mercifully destroys the R drone this time, and the Suryat makes his saves against the second volley. So, he survived it. There he is, Mulebot Rampage. I looked over there, saw it was Rampage, counted myself lucky for only losing 1 guy and taking a wound from that. Alright, and then Doctor comes around, I think he goes prone to crawl over here and heals up the Moblo. Now the Chasseurs make their move. The Chasseur moves up, trying to take out the Makarep over here. He comes up as a camo token, trying to get line of fire there. There's also line of fire down here to one Unidron with a plasma carbine. So the Unidron holds so he can discover if he's not actually going to shoot. But he does shoot. He hits the Macrep and she makes a save. And then he's going to try it again. This was a little risky. He fires at the Macrep, ignoring the Unidron, and then walks around the corner over here. That's all fine. The Macrep survives again, and the Unidron, needing 5s because he's at long range, and the camo of the Chasseur rolls double 5s and incinerates the Chasseur, completely gone. All right, here we have the other Chasseur moving up. He's trying to get in range of the Link team with his flamethrower, and I believe he does. He just moves up to there and threatens them, and they don't do anything else. He comes up, that's right, he moves up as a camo token, and then gets spotted right there and stops. Because now on my turn I have to deal with it before I can activate the Link, or he fires the flamethrower and torches like 3 of them. Alright, so here are the Unidrons. Why am I taking this instead? Alright, because the Suryat fires and puts that Chasseur unconscious, who's right behind my camera here. There he is. Chasseur is now unconscious, Link team moves up. Missile launcher hops up on top and is able to get a shot at the Mulebot Rampage and drops it unconscious, allowing these guys to have a little freedom of movement and move up around the hut up here to claim table quarters, basically, or strips. Alright, the Macrep then begins moving out and comes around the corner here where she can see the back of this Moblo, and she fairly easily kills him there. There were 3 men to Link at this point, so that wasn't a problem. She then drops into suppressive fire. The Suryat moves up behind her, also into suppressive fire. I got a lot of points in the center now, and I've kind of pushed him back. He's now going to have to come out with the Moblos to try to get back up here. This is where the Link team ends up, with the missile launcher peeking out, a couple plasma carbines peeking out, and they're just in position there waiting. On to my opponent's second turn. His engineer comes up to fix Rampage. This is terrifying to me because we saw what he did in his first shot, and the same thing could happen again. Unfortunately, for my opponent, the engineer fails twice to fix Rampage, which destroys it, taking it off the board. And he wastes 2 orders doing that. It's a little bit of a shootout here where someone's trying to forward observe one of the Unidrons. Nothing interesting happens there. And that was, I think, before he tried to fix the bots. Then he was going to rain missiles on them as well. Alright, this is now into my turn 2. The Macrep is moving up, still hunting camo tokens. This Chasseur has gone unconscious from the Suryat, who got in a firefight with him there. I'm firing AP rounds to put them unconscious instead of shock because I have data scan as my classified objective, and eventually I'm going to be trying to do that. Macrep comes up here, she's within 16, but outside of 8, so the Chasseur doesn't get its 6th sense, and she guns him down from the back, or her down from the back without too much trouble. Alright, Umbra jumps over the building here, gets just within 16 of the HMG sapper here, and crits him with the breaker combi rifle, putting him unconscious. This puts my data tracker in the center. He is in the open, but he's in the center, and there's not much else going on, so he's probably going to be fine. Alright, so without much else going on, my lieutenant gets up and runs to the middle of the board to try to get that classified objective. Right on the other side of this ice column is the unconscious Chasseur that you saw earlier, and I try and fail 4 times to data scan him. So he's standing there, and that's the end of that. Alright, the Unidrons, they move up a little bit again, just to make sure they're in the quarters I want them to be in. They also spot and destroy a mine over here. That's just before the Macrep moves out. This is where they end up in the turn. So this is my opponent's last turn. He doesn't have much left. The Moblo comes up, tries to kill the Umbra, but she gets flash pulsed. Stunned, can't attack anymore. And here's my opponent, Puma Driftcat, lining up his last shot. He's got the Dr. Fire Axe right in here. He's trying to take a shot with his shotgun down here to the Macrep. He misses the Macrep, or she makes an armor save, and he gets destroyed by an Unidron missile launcher for his trouble. And that is the end of the game. Here we have the final scores here. And you can see the Onyx won this one quite handily. We were able to push them out of the zone and hold into it. My data tracker was in there, and we even had the security perimeter for no enemy models in there. Alright, hope you guys liked the game, and we will see you next time.